Hey guys, this is Fleeciana96 and I'm here to bring you Chapter 14 of the Villian Barista written by Cherium. Link is going to be down below as always, and if you guys missed the first 13 chapters, well, you can go on my channel to find Chapter 1. You can also click on the playlist in order to listen to them all in sequential order. This is a project done by multiple YouTubers, so the only parts you're going to find on my channel are this chapter and Chapter 1. I do recommend going and giving all of them a listen. I have been keeping up with the postings, and there's so much great talent that is being put forth into these videos, and there's a lot of fun happening behind the scenes. Also, all the thumbnails that we are using for our videos have been drawn by us, so show some appreciation for the artwork that has gone into that, but it's been turning out so amazing and so beautiful. Here's a summary for Chapter 14. All for One is hot. Shouto's having a great time, and Izuku's having a good day, like normal. Almost. All for One is sitting on his throne with his medical equipment like always when they walk in. It's like he expects them to be there. Heh. Mindheist probably informed the guy already. At least the supervillain pretends to be cool and not get too excited to be healed. Hello, Izuku. What brought you here today? Oh, great. He wants to talk with Izuku. Well, Mindheist thought it was a great idea to introduce you to her. He steps closer to show All for One the little girl that's hiding behind him. This is Eri, and I think you already know why we're here. Izuku dismisses the villain easily. How's he still alive? No one knows. My, let's get to work then. Your bunny doesn't seem to agree with this, Tetsuya. All for One chuckles and motions them to come closer. Mindheist huffs. He brings a chair out of nowhere for Eri to sit on at All for One's side. She sits on it hesitantly, but a smile from Izuku comforts her a bit. She glances at the big villain shyly before she asks something. Are you really 200 years old? Ah. Yes, child. You see, my quirk let me live a very long time. But if I get hurt, he points at his scarred face. I just can't make it go away. Izuku actually wants to clap his hands at how All for One chooses his words. So, my curse won't make you go away like the other people? If All for One had a face, he would have frowned. Izuku sighs. He knows that Eri has so much going on, and it just makes him feel horrible to see a kid her age suffer something like this. Healing All for One would show her how great her quirk is, but she still needs a lot of love to cover all that trauma. Maybe he should introduce her to the League. Magne and Toga would love her. I would call it a blessing, you know. Now, come closer and put your hand on mine. Eri looks at Izuku again. He nods and steps back to stand beside Mindheist, who looks far more excited than he should have. Eri slowly puts her tiny hand on All for One's much larger one. The supervillain is so gentle to the girl, Izuku might not believe it if someone had told him about this. What do I do now? She asks. Let go, child. She does. Her horn glows in the dimly lit room. It doesn't take long before the light starts to engulf the villain. Eri squeezes her eyes shut. Her body is trembling, but a firm hold of the other guy will still confirm that he is still there with her. Izuku is pretty sure that it's some kind of a persuasion quirk. He did tell All for One that he shouldn't use any physical or visible quirks on Eri. It's a great time to analyze Eri's quirk. He's sitting in the corner of the room while writing about Rewind. Everything seems fine. Izuku startles. He quickly looks up to see the scars on All for One's face lessen. The flesh form back to what it was before. The eyes are back first. Red, blood-like colored eyes blink open slowly. Why does everyone have red eyes? If Shouto was here, he would say something like, they are all related or something. The eyes are followed by a white, short, a little bit curly hair that's now back on his head. It's only been a few minutes, so Eri must have let loose on her quirk. If she's able to rewind her dad out of existence like that, then those little times can make a person around 30-40 gone. So now All for One is around 150? Ah, shit. All for One murmurs. Why does everyone curse in front of a child? Izuku and Mine Heist look up in concern. Are you okay over there? The red-haired villain asks. All for One picks up Eri and settles her on his lap. His handsome face frowns anxiously. Oh yeah, handsome. Did he mention yet that the villains around him are too good-looking? What is wrong with society? The villains stole all the good genes, huh? I don't want Eri to use all her quirk and pass out, he explains. His voice isn't hoarse like before. Usually it sounds breathy and strained, but now his voice is clear and sounds young. Well, it's deep and powerful. Definitely how he had imagined the Overlord voice would be like. You definitely have some kind of quirk-stopping quirk, Mind Heist says with confusion. I'm going to, but I did not know that her quirk would rewind other things that aren't my physical body. All for One chuckles humorously. Oh, rewind can do that? What happens to a quirk that disappears then? Could they go back to the owner before All for One stole them? Or are they just gone? Not to interrupt your thinking, Bunny, but can you please help my boss over here before all his precious quirks vanish? And not come back. Mine Heist was tugging his shirt. All for One would not disappear, but his quirk will, and that's some funny shit right there. In the end, Izuku and All for One came to the same solution. He brings out a Nomu and transfers almost all of his quirk except the necessary ones to the beast body. Eri is still closing her eyes, and doesn't let go of All for One's suit. The supervillain is holding the child in one hand, and the other is holding and stroking his face while looking in the mirror. Eri's quirk should run out soon. They all don't want her to become unconscious out of quirk exhaustion. But they don't have a quirk like Eraserhead's erasure. So after this session, they might need some quirk counselor for Eri. The thought that All for One doesn't have erasure scares him a bit. Maybe in the future he might need to tell the underground hero to be careful. The light from Eri's horn slowly fades, and now she's peacefully sleeping on All for One's arm. She'll probably wake up from a nightmare for sure. Izuku has been there before. He knows how she feels. Izuku takes Eri from All for One's arm, carefully, but then Mine Heist steps in front of him. I'll take care of her. I'm the one who suggested this anyways. The thought of healing his boss just overshadowed the fact that Eri can't control her quirk at all. Izuku can see a little bit of guilt in his eyes. After Mine Heist talked with All for One about something, he left with Eri in his arms. That leaves Izuku with a supervillain who won't stop running a hand through his hair, or stop looking in the mirror for the past hour. Are you done yet? Izuku asked tiredly. Damn villains and their good looks. All for One smirks. Come now, Izuku. It's been a while since I've seen my face again. Did I tell you that ladies love me a lot? Sighs. Izuku ignores him. How old are you now? I think I'm around 100. Thank God for that. I almost lost like 20 great quirks. All for One stands up from where he's sitting and teleports right in front of Izuku. He jumps back in surprise. Let's go see Tomura. With that, Izuku is lifted up by an invisible force, and now he's being carried by All for One. Great day. A warp gate similar to Kurogiri's opens up. But this one is more black than purple. Izuku blinks once, and now they're at the bar. Izuku wiggles his way down from the villain's arms and comes to meet with a wide-eyed Tomura and a shocked Kurogiri, who almost drops the glass he's cleaning, if not for Izuku catching it. Sensei? Master. They both speak up in bewilderment. Oh, wow. Tomura. You're all grown up now. Don't know if it's only him, but All for One seems more friendly and fun. When they met for the first time, Izuku was so scared of him, with the scarred face in the dark room, and the way he's speaking so formally and radiating some unnerving aura. Yeah, that's All for One before he gets healed. Izuku lets them have a conversation and disappears into the kitchen behind Kurogiri's bar. It's smaller than his own cafe, but at least there's some ingredients for him. There isn't enough for a fancy coffee, though. Time to bring out the tea recipe that has been hiding in the back of his head. He comes back with 4 drinks. Apricot lemonade iced tea, sweet citrus iced tea, cranberry tea, and a vanilla chai tea for himself. All for One perks up and grabs the cranberry tea before he opens the warp gate again. Now, I'm going to do some business, so you kids have fun. And then he's gone, just like that. Where did you find an overpowered quirk like that to fix Sensei? Tomura says while sipping the sweet citrus tea in interest. Izuku goes to sit next to him on the couch. She's a kid I helped. Mindheist saw the opportunity, so he brought her here. Who the fuck is Mindheist? Izuku looks at him. Dude, he's literally All for One's #1 minion. And he's the one who kidnapped me. Never heard of him in my entire life. Excuse me? So, when will the gang come back? Izuku changes the subject. Who in the world doesn't know the famous mastermind? Oh, the League of Villains leader. Izuku can't believe him. Tomorrow? I assigned Dabi to be the leader of the Vanguard Action Squad. So I let them do their job. Actually, the name is pretty cool. Tomura is definitely the one who came up with that. But there's nothing for him to say, really. Tomura told him last week that he wouldn't tell anything to Izuku. He wants it to be a surprise. But Izuku doubts it. He learned to read people's facial expressions from some vigilante, and the look on Tomura's face that day, Izuku's sure that he won't like what he will see tomorrow. Let's call it a hunch. Summer camp is great in Shouto's opinion. He gets so far away from Endeavor, and he gets to use his quirk freely. The only thing that's bad is he doesn't get to talk to Izuku, since they've both been busy. And Shouto is too tired to do anything after the heavy training. He hopes he'll get a hug from his friend soon. Oh wait, there's another thing that's worse. The constant glaring from Bakugo. Shouto doesn't know why this guy is so obsessed with Izuku. Even his personality pissed him off so much. Hopefully they won't be seeing each other anytime soon, or Shoto's going to burn that cocky face away before he can even speak a single word to Izuku. 2 days pass by, and everything is fine. Well, not today, he guesses. Villains attack the camp. Great. He should have asked Izuku that day because his friend looks like he was about to say something important but changed his mind when Shigaraki walked in. He saw Toya's blue fire in the distance and sighs to himself. God must have hated him because he somehow ended up with Bakugo, and now they're fighting a crazy villain with a teeth quirk. What's his name again? Shouto surely saw him somewhere in Izuku's villain analysis book. Moon something. Moon teeth? Definitely not that. They somehow defeated the villain. Not exactly they. Yaorashi brings in the rampaging Dark Shadow with his wind and throws Tokiyami to the villain. And they meet with more people to form a Bakugo protection squad something, because apparently the villains want to kidnap the blonde. Did they even ask Shouto if he wants to protect this guy? Oh, would you look at that? Mr. Compress just used his quirk on Bakugo and Tokiyami, and now he's escaping. Oh no! Shouto is at his limit, and he can't use his ice anymore. Sorry for the inconvenience, everyone. Yaorashi must have loved his classmates so much, he summoned a very strong wind to make everyone fly towards the magician. They collide and smash him onto the ground. Shouto looks up to see Dabi walking to them. Oh, this is the rendezvous point. His brother launches his flames. The only people who are able to dodge is him and Mr. Compress. Fast forward, they're all now fighting with the villains. Shouto is trying his best. So is Toga. That's clearly a fake knife she's throwing at him. At least she's having fun avoiding Shoto's weak fire. After a long time of wonderful acting by Shouto, his classmates are able to retrieve the marble of Tokoyami. Unluckily for the hero side, Bakugo is in Toga's hold, and the knife is digging lightly onto the guy's throat. Shouto sighs. Finally, he can go back home and sleep for an entire day. Maybe he should visit Izuku first, though. His thoughts get cut off by a screaming of his name from his classmates. He blinks, and there's an arm wrapped around his shoulder as he gets dragged into the portal. What the fuck? His head whipped to the side, and he hissed in the villain's ear. Dabi, what are you? Grab my neck. Dabi seems to realize he kind of fucked up, so he quickly moves his hand to Shoto's throat instead. Oh, shit. I forgot you're a hero student. He mumbles guiltily. But his brother doesn't look sorry at all. When they all disappear into Kurogiri's portal, Shouto tries not to look back at either of his classmates' horrified faces. At least he'll meet with Izuku faster. Mind Heist is long gone before Izuku comes back to the cafe, but he left a note saying that he'll be back when the Vanguard finishes their mission. So Izuku let him be. Izuku has a normal day so far. Woke up in the morning, made a lot of coffees and tea, FaceTime with All for One to let Eri see that the guy is still there and healthy as fuck. Eri is so happy she cried again, so he and a group of villains had a group hug with her. Izuku also made her unicorn milkshakes and rainbow cupcakes for her. Eri likes it a lot, so Izuku has to make a ton more. Which it all ended up in the villain's stomach because he and Eri definitely can't eat it all. If any of them has diabetes, Izuku can only say sorry. But hey, it's made Eri become cheerful. At night, after he sent Eri to bed, he changed his clothes and comes down to chill in the cafe couch. Izuku knows they'll be back soon, and Izuku is not gonna like it at all. Why does he become paranoid like this? But he always trusts his instincts, okay? Maybe he should text Shouto or Dabi to test the water first. He doesn't need to wait for long because Dabi is already calling him. Bunny, we're back. We're gonna need your drinks ASAP. Kurogiri won't give us alcohol. You heard him. Throw tons of ice in there. Izuku has never pulled his phone away from his ear that fast in his entire life. Damn, they're so loud. Right. Anything else? We accidentally brought you a friend, so come pick him up quickly before the other brat figures something out because your fucking boyfriend can't act shit. Izuku's just gonna ignore that last part. And how did they accidentally kidnap Shouto? Ugh. Let's just make that a future problem. He hangs up the phone and leaves to do this work. Since he definitely can't carry all of that, he texts Kurogiri to open up a portal for him. The drinks are going first, because they won't stop whining, and Kurogiri is so tired of their bullshit. Izuku stares blankly at the swirling portal. Why does he feel like this? His feet do not want to cooperate with him to walk in there. He takes a deep breath and steps in. He landed next to the door. Great for escaping, he thought. His eyes take in the situation. The League of Villains are either sitting at the bar or standing in their usual spots. They're drinking what Izuku made thirstily. He almost sighs because there's nothing wrong. Then, fuck his life. There's someone in the middle of the room. And fuck him again for not wearing a hoodie. Fucking Bakugo Katsuki is here, and in restraints. But why not a muzzle? Because the moment their eyes meet, Izuku goes still. That different shade of red from both Mind Heist and Tomura's eyes are looking directly at him. He should have trusted his gut feeling. Deku? So does everyone in the room when that word comes out of his mouth. All eyes have various emotions in them as they stare at the explosive kid. Fuck no. He turns around, yanks open the door, and closes it in their faces. Not today, asshole. Thank you guys so much for listening. Chapter 15 is going to be coming out tomorrow, so keep an eye out for that. If you're not already following the playlist, be sure to do that, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.